Now, this day, we can all say that, Lord, I may or may not know your way, but one thing is for sure, that I, as an expression of you, Lord, am an eternal servitor. That I am here to express your will, your infinite potential, as I am an expression of all of creation, which is continuous. And as an expression of this ongoingness, I, as the label Alex, express your free-flowingness as this profoundness, this abundance, this energy within me is expressing continuously in a free-flowing manner. And I am this pure consciousness, this pure energy, which is transcendent to matter, simultaneously within it, all that's around me, as the presence which animates this intelligence and all that exists around this, which is not bounded by a sense of separateness, by a boundary, by a body, because this body actually connects me to all that surrounds me. This skin, this concept, Alex, doesn't separate me from all of existence, but actually, this skin connects me as if, actually, not as if, but I am a part of all this. Actually, again, Alex is more than merely a concept and is not a part, but is the whole. And at the same time, how small. Although I may feel full, I am full. You know, whether our cup as we see our cup is half full or half empty, we can still be grateful. We can still be humble. And exist here before all of creation as an appreciative expression. Without a self-image present. Without Alex as a concept getting in the way of that free-flowingness of life, the free flow of life within me. Without getting tangled up and limited by a personal identity. And projecting an imaginary concept upon that which surrounds me. And I say me and Alex and all this, not to make it about me. When I say I am, I'm talking about all of humanity. The same I am within me is expressing within all of creation continuously as the presence, not just as Alex. And we understand this, that all of creation represents pure abundance, will be animated by a pure consciousness, a sense of unity and wholeness, and free-flowingness. And we'll be able to ride the tide, ride the flux, the course of nature, of creation, and understand that really there is no separation between creator and creation. It's all an emanation of the self, same expression of evolution. We're all here to evolve. And when we see things clearly, we'll see that creation is evolution. And each seeming individual is an expression of that evolution, which is continuous, ever going at a upward spiral momentum, traveling up the spine as we realize we're divine and transcend time and exist in this loving multi-dimensional reality which is so sublime. We can consciously transact with the different dimensions of energy as we exist simultaneously in a three-dimensional earthly reality and transcendent to it. Beyond it, we can consciously tap out of it through harmonic attunement in spiritual alignment. We can exist from within a physical body and then consciously leave it at will. That's part of our infinite potential, right? And when we understand this, that we, as a human entity, as seemingly different physical bodies, which really, we can think of Gaia, the Mother Earth, as one big cell, and we as seeming individuals are different cells within that one big cell, seeming parts of the whole Earth, which is one, and Earth within the solar system, or within the Milky Way galaxy, is one cell within that larger system, within the macrocosm, and it goes on at infinitum. Wow, this infinite expansion. Never compromise the fire of your desire, your longing, which is inherent within all of us, for expansion, for infinite expansion. Never compromise the fire of your daily spiritual practice for the expansion of who you are, the expansion of what you are. Not just who you are in the world, but what you are. This longing is dormant within all of us. So, never compromise. Again, I say it thrice. The expansion of who you are, of what you are. For relationships, for wealth, for money, for comfort, for anything that's worldly. Because all these things are temporary. But the essence, which is formless, which is weightless, which is invisible, which is timeless, which permeates all of existence within all of us simultaneously, which is your inherent divinity. That essence, this essence, as it speaks through me, as there really is no personal Alex present, it's the presence. And I make this to convey this. It's beyond words and language, but at the same time, the energy that expresses through me, not even so much the words, but the energy acts as a carrier wave, which allows the listener to, it facilitates proper interpretation of the expression of the essence. And I say this again, never compromise the expansion of who you are, your practice, your daily process, whatever it is, for spiritual progress, for anything that's temporary. You can understand it has its place as we fulfill our role in this earthly reality, our purpose, whatever that is. But we don't want to get lost in concepts, because through remembrance, we can remember what we are, beyond who we are as a personality. And I get down on a knee. And as I'm aware of all that surrounds me, simultaneously aware of the cars driving by, that although my feet are touching the ground, that I am so high. Simultaneously grounded and beyond, within and without. Really, there is no inner and outer, subjective and objective, creation and creator. They all melt into each other. When you're in a certain state of consciousness, when you're in oneness, when you're unified and purified, when your physical expression represents wholeness, the abundance, the joyous nature of being in full force and in proper balance, the masculine and feminine energies within us, the Ida and the Pingala, those two dimensions of energy, which is within every human entity, when they're in balance, and you're whole, that which we can call holy, right? A holy person is whole. I don't need anything outside of me, right? When those two dimensions of energy within us are in proper balance, when all the chakras are aligned, and this energy is alive, and we're receptive, we represent an openness, that energy, which is non-dual in nature, which is beyond physicality, enters the sushumna. So when the Ida and the Pingala, the masculine and the feminine, are in balance, when the chakras within us are alive and open and in balance, this non-physical, this non-dual dimension of energy enters the sushumna, the central, the stable, the eternal dimension of energy, which is beyond all physicality, which is beyond all duality, where we can embody this abundance within us, within all of humanity, and endure all seeming duality, whether it be pleasure and pain, or this or that. We can endure all duality with calmness and understanding and intuitiveness, as we understand that, hey, although I may be witnessing this currently, I am actually beyond this temporary human experience. And at the same time as I exist within and beyond eternity, is pure I amness, is pure consciousness, is pure and potent energy as eternity itself. I am I, as I said in a video previously, that I is a complete sentence. We don't have to interpret this egotistically, because the word am that follows it represents beingness. And yes, as we elevate and evolve in intelligence, we move from havingness to having this to doing this. It's more about what we do, action, than what we have, possession. And then we move from, as we evolve, from doingness to pure beingness, to pure aliveness. It's not even so much more about what we do, especially not what we have, but what we are, what we become, what I am, right? That statement, I am, represents beingness, pure aliveness, pure existence. I'm simply here, Lord. Represent humbleness with no self-image present. I don't have to have this or have to do this, because whatever I have or don't have in this world, whatever I do or don't do, I'm fulfilled, because I am in you and you are in me, because I am eternity. I is eternity. I guess amness, and isness, those words are interchangeable, right? But as pure beingness, actually, there is no duality between beingness and non-existence, between existence and non-existence. And that's part of wholeness, transcending the duality of seemingly being in this earthly reality and a sense of nothingness. Because truly, divinity is allness. It's everything. And thus, we can all be so joyous, because we not just understand this intellectually, but viscerally. Again, both dimensions of energy, feminine and masculine, the visceral, the feeling, and the logical, are operating at full force within us. I reiterate this because of its importance. You'll notice that such wholeness, such holy people, are naturally very generous. Not because they try to be virtuous, but because they're joyous. When you're joyful, you're naturally grateful, and you want to share that with the world around you. People that are miserable, they want to accumulate more and more and more, and they want to bring other people down with them. You know what they say, misery loves company, right? But essentially, at heart, nobody is miserable. They just may be forgetful, because of lack of remembrance of the presence, which is the source of all of existence, not just a human entity. And I don't say just as merely. I remember somebody once told me, well, they asked me, like, how many pull-ups did you do? I said, just this. X. Just this amount. He said, well, chuck just. You don't need just. Give me a number. Right? So we want to be conscious in the words that we use. And although, these videos are not planned, they're an expression of that free-flowingness of life. I'm still conscious. There's still part of me which may be let loose and not monitoring what I'm saying. With intentionality. As if there's a difference between intention and creation, between intender and creator, between that which is intended, the intention itself, and whom the intention is directed to. There is no such duality. When we see clearly, we'll see that all of existence actually is harmony, harmonious, and thus will exist harmoniously. And this is not just poetry. I hope you can really feel this as I express this viscerally. And as I get up from being on a knee, we can transmute the fundamental energy within us and not engage in lustful activity. And the birds and the bees. You can understand as we nourish the root. We can transmute that energy instead of wasting it physically. And as you can feel, this video is winding down. As you pay attention to the sound, maybe not even so much the words that are said, but the place from which they're expressed. Alex is now going off into, is going to relish the silence, pure awareness, which is pure abundance, aliveness. Somebody asked Alex, recently asked me, "How are you today?" I'm awake, aware, and alive. What a beautiful day it is, Lord. I give thanks to you, the eternal life force. It is continuously renewing as this human as all of us. And as we see that all of creation is an expression of that life force within us, of divinity, we'll view it with reverence and unity. From a purified consciousness, as this energy acts and expresses to, in the direction of, through, and as us. As this label, which we can point at and call Alex. But we don't want to get mixed up and confuse that as our fundamental identity, which is non-different from divinity. Same light within you, me, and all of humanity. The beauty of all of creation. I can appreciate it. But not necessarily live for it. Because we live for that which is fundamentally beyond it. As we exist within it. How beauteous existence is. The isness. Which is beyond the personal Alex. Crickets. To be able to simply observe and witness the phone. Not really, because there's not a central focus. It's more of a peripheral vision as you open your physical eyes and view the world outwardly. You're simultaneously focused subjectively, and thus there is no difference, there is no separation. And through this peripheral vision, you feel that all of this is a part of you, a part of the presence. There is no difference between witnesser and that which is witnessed. So as I simply look at the phone, look at you in silence, I'm not labeling it phone. This character that I see as a picture on the phone screen, I'm not labeling Alex. I mentioned this also in another video that sometimes I walk by the mirror. Wow, look at that character. That's what this looks like. This consciousness is expressing as. I don't feel like I'm limited to that, but although some people may address me in terms of Alex, or view me as if I'm a body, I don't feel that way viscerally. And I certainly don't identify with that intellectually. is what it is. Acceptance is freedom. It's bliss. It leads to pure confidence that all the rules are my rules. I am responsible for everything. I am not this body, and I am not even the mind. I'm not limited to time, for I am eternal, immortal, beyond all beginnings and endings. For creation is the now, the present. And we are the presence, which permeates all of existence, beyond all words and concepts, beyond all appearance. In the pure, potent silence, which is true power. I'm so blessed. Who want to say yes, yes to life. Thank you, Lord. I get to write another description. Man, I love writing these descriptions. I love making these videos, and I hope you guys like them too. But what really gives me joy is having something to look forward to. Write a description. I mentioned in another video that I don't, unless I search, I don't really have a reason, because I, as Alex, am really a nothing. So I simply sit here without a personality, as nothingness. In order to continue on as a person, as Alex, I gotta look for a reason to keep on going, right? And making these videos and writing a description, it gives me a reason. So, hey, if you like it, support me. Throw me a thumbs up. Give me some social support. Whatever. Appreciate it, I guess. Although I'm going to keep making them. Whether or not anybody's liking them. I made a promise to myself that no matter how well this channel does socially, that I'm not going to monetize it, because it's free. That which I've been given and gifted freely, I give back freely. It's not about money. It's not about me. It's personal identity. Really, it's about all of humanity. And that's what inspires me. Anywho, 420. Bliss. When I see 420, I automatically think of bliss. Used to be a weed head. But now, I'm past that. Past this. What's the difference? 420 represents bliss within. I'm blissful naturally. I don't need something outside to stimulate me. I can simply sit in silence as the bliss of pure aliveness and consciousness. Without needing something outside of this Because really, I see there is no difference as I exist, as the presence, wherever I am. Pure contentedness in every circumstance. For awareness values equal pleasure wherever it is. Because it's not limited to time or locality. It has really no location or duration or duality. How to convey it through a phone screen. Making funny faces at a baby recently. Gotta love them. You want to understand purity. Look at a baby. Hasn't formed a self-image, personal identity. What exists is pure, potent energy, awareness. Purity is the key.